or liberation just have vastly different understandings of what liberation is for.
I haven't seen this much importance and attention.
The story itself is a really wonderful, really great setup.
Tractor beam has been engaged.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tractor Beam Comics Reviews, your one-stop shop for in-depth commentary and discussion on this week's Star Wars comics. It is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. It's the 38th week of comics in 2025. We're rolling right along. I'm Matthew. He's Chris. Chris, how you doing this week?
Well, the tractor beam has certainly been engaged in more ways than one this week.
We will get to it. We'll get there. Yeah, it's been fun. To just see that little moment there. Spot that. We're talking about Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red #1 and ongoing #5. And we'll get to those in a bit. Just get the plugs out of the way. We'll get through them. Not out of the way. They're important to us. We like them. We like plugs. Follow us on Blue Sky at the Tractor Beam.biscuit.social. That's the Tractor Beam. Check that out. Of course, also around the network at the SWU and Iron Cannon and all that. Also, you can follow everything Chris is up to at Star Raptor, StarRapter. That's youtube.com/StarRaptor and twitter.com/StarRaptor or at StarRaptor over on the Bird app. Also, if you prefer to listen on audio, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And basically, I think wherever you get your audio podcasts, we're there. Just when this is done, I will throw that right up onto that stream, onto that feed, and you can give it a look. Search the Tractor Beam. If you search Star Wars comics reviews, it might turn it up. Let's hope. And yeah, search the Tractor Beam on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I'm going to mention a few fun things about that in a second. Before that, though, we're proudly part of the Star Wars Underworld podcast network. Again, check out around the network. Also, here on this YouTube channel, the Underworld YouTube channel, we have YouTube memberships and we have super chats. If you would like to support the channel and support the network, we would be most grateful. As I always say every week, if you chat with us down below normally, we will get to it as soon as we can. If you super chat us, we'll interrupt whatever we're doing and saying and just say, hey, what's your question? Even if it has nothing to do with Star Wars comics, we'll do that just for you. There we go. Also, of course, the Discord server down in the description below, you can get a minty fresh link to get into the Star Wars Underworld Discord server, where they're chatting it up. They're chatting about Star Wars. They're chatting about different shows, different ideas, where you can ask questions of the flagship podcast. When Ben will sort those and get through them and hopefully get to some on the Thursday night, tomorrow night on the flagship. But yeah, you can have the conversations in there. Also, they do doing some movie nights. They've just last week they did a little look at, I forgot what the documentary is called, but it was a really cool making of, sort of, but by the History Channel. That came out just after the prequels. Came out in 2007. So that was on YouTube. So that kind of thing. This coming Friday, when the Lego special comes out, Rebuild the Galaxy, the second Rebuild the Galaxy comes out, they're gonna sit and watch it and have the the voice chat in the background. So if that interests you, or if you want to just jump in, the water's fine. And I think there's also maybe some game nights coming up as well. Don't quote me on that. Or quote me, and if I'm wrong, oh well. Then check that out down in the link below. Two things I mentioned about audio and other things I've been up to. Just another last plug to mention this at the Tractor Beam Live, our panel from Fan Expo Canada. That is up right here on the YouTube channel. It is also up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, right there and under the Tractor Beam Star Wars comics reviews on your audio podcast feeds. So yeah, do check that out. That was with Ethan Sachs and Paolo Villanelli. A good friend Ash steered that ship, and she's the captain of multiple ships there. So that was a good job by her, and I was in on that too. So happy to do that. Going to do that again for sure. And speaking of interviewing authors, this is a bit of a change of pace, but on the book side, my other podcast, Ion Cannon, I got the chance to interview Tessa Grattan this past Monday, and she is the author of the Acolyte tie-in novel, The Crystal Crown. She wrote a bunch of High Republic novels, so had a good half hour, 40-minute chat with her that we then showed. Joel and I then showed on the Ion Cannon podcast. So check that out on YouTube and on audio with our commentary. I will be releasing, maybe tomorrow or Friday, just the interview itself on just audio only on Spotify and Apple and wherever you get your podcasts. Just the audio only over on the Ion Cannon podcast feed. So the Ion Cannon podcast or Ion Cannon podcast, check that out. It was a great discussion. Went through a bunch about the Crystal Crown, a bunch about High Republic, and the meaning of story and storytelling. So that was a great conversation there. So please do check that out. But that does it for the plugs. I'm going to take a swig of water because my mouth is dry.
That's perfectly fine because it gave me a chance to
there you go.
Shout out to the world what we're talking about tonight. So
there we go. So there's the transition. We're going into this Boba Fett Black, White, and Red #1 that is written by Benjamin Percy, with art by Chris Allen and Craig Young, and colors. Yes, well, color by Rochelle Rosenberg. Very skilled, deftly using one color there. No, that's not true. We'll get into that. Letters by VC's Joe Caramagna and cover by Alex Maleev. The impossible job. Boba Fett finds himself trapped in a situation he seemingly can't get out of. The Empire and an extreme rebel faction are after the same bounty. Fett needs to track down a deadly individual who has played both sides, and to make things even more impossible, his target is hiding out in a volatile volcanic system. This one was fun. This one was an exciting book. Really, like I mentioned in the description, showed us what Boba Fett is made of. Right? It opens up. Funny enough, opens up on. I thought it was kind of. With these black, white, and red, you kind of have there is some leeway into the hues of red, and so this reddish orange color, because it's not Narkina 5, but it's like Narkina 5. It's a similar kind of planet, similar kind of prison rather, and Boba just crashes in, grabs the guy, grabs his target, and jetpacks the heck out of there, and that's one way out of those places. If only Kino Loy had a jetpack. There we go. He would have made it. It's kind of what's going on there. It definitely again showing Boba Fett in his prime, in his this is set during the Age of the Empire. I even half expected him to show up then on the Executor, trying to say, "Hey, Vader, ask him to hunt down the Falcon." That could be where this is going. I wouldn't be surprised, but really showing him just how focused he is. Let's use this charitable term, how focused he is on the mission, on the bounty. He doesn't care about the rebellion. He doesn't care about the Empire. He, at this point, at least, he just wants to get the job done, and he does, and is able to grab this one prisoner. That's a good setup, and then he goes and he gets contracted by the Empire to find this bounty, this data on another Imperial prison. And again, he's just always one or two steps ahead of everyone. It's one of those almost not quite Thrawn-like, because Thrawn's 50 steps ahead of everybody, but he's clearly anticipating, okay, the Imperials are definitely going to kill me. These rebels are going to kill me too. And he's able to really play both sides. I love that hologram at the end. He doesn't show up in person. I'm doing a bit of a synopsis, but he is smart enough and is just stoic enough to say, I know it's just a chance that they both could kill him when I'm executed, including the rebel faction, which it's great to see this other corner of the Rebel Alliance that is kind of off the beaten path. They said that they don't they kind of kick them out, or they have tensions where they keep them around, kind of like a Saw Gerrera type of thing. And and so the Boba being on his guard, and aware of saying, okay, I'm gonna just hedge my bets here, force the Imperials to clear my nets, clear my name, force the rebels to give me what I'm paid and not kill me. And I'm going to give them both the coordinates, and they're going to attack each other and see what happens. And he's going to just get her to dodge again. And so that's how the issue ends. Again, we don't often get this succinct of a look at Boba's strategic mind. I mean, we do here and there, but this was a really clear, contained one issue of he has a plan. He's going to go through it and take care of it. So that's on the story side. Before we talk about the art style, Chris, I'll throw it to you about the story and the character. What stood out to you in this one?
Yeah, it was very much the man that speaks few words. They stay true to the character of Boba Fett, where he still is a mystery. They make a joke of taking the helmet off and all this sort of stuff. Stays on the whole time.
It's true.
And yeah, I think you said it well, right? We haven't really seen this from Boba Fett. Like seeing, I think it comes from experience, too, of just he's been around. This is why he is so infamous. He can play all sides, but I love seeing that the Rebels proposition Boba Fett. I think it's clearly for the audience to understand with this comic that Boba Fett is not exclusively working for the Empire all the time. Like, it's so easy to see that if you watch Empire Strikes Back, he's standing there with all the other stormtroopers. If you're any other casual viewer of Star Wars, you just automatically assume like Boba Fett is in the ranks of the Empire. He's working no, that's not the case. And again, there's so much Andor undertones in this issue, from the very first panel to just the idea of, like we see with Cassian Andor and Saw Gerrera, like there are factions within the Rebel Alliance that are not exactly playing by the rules, but the rebellion's leadership allows them to still work because they do have success. And whether or not, it's not the most morally right thing that they're doing, it still is, proving their worth, and they're still going. So I like that. Of course, like throwing in the Slave One, like you can't. I love how like this is still such an iconic part of Boba Fett. Seeing him like going out there in space, like with the Y wings, very striking, very cool imagery there. Seeing, also him dealing with like the black market too, right? We've seen him dealing obviously with Return of the Jedi with Jabba. So you get all three. You get the criminals, you get the Empire, you get the rebels. So any good Boba Fett story, this is fantastic. Them trying to get him to like, the rebels like work for their cause, not really having it. But just I love that point at the end where he's just able to do that. But it's just able to play everybody to his own end and get out of there was just so much fun. But I mean, going into it, just the action was pretty slick. I will admit, and it's just because the coloration of so many limited colors, I do feel, I don't know about you, like sometimes I was getting a little lost with the panels, like what's happening. She's got like a data card, or he or she, I can't tell, kind of ambiguous officer there.
Imperial officer.
Smashing a card against, I guess, his visor. Like I was kind of like,
the credit card,
a credit card. Like there's a couple moments where I'm like, okay, what am I looking at here? Just because I am so used to like, seeing like we're just gonna see for Star Wars #5 today, like, traditional coloration, very bold. This sometimes it's harder for me to understand. And I know it's a choice. It's a choice. This is what this comic is about artistically, but it did have a lot more. Just to sum it up, this comic had a lot more to say about the character of Boba Fett than I thought it actually would. I was expecting this to just be like just a lot of fun shooting
Mhm.
and a cool story. Didn't expect to like actually see Boba Fett like this, which is just a nice little bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it did have a bit of fun shooting, to be fair. It had to. Shows just how well he's been able to survive all the way into, Mandoverse, all the way there. Yeah, I mean, and with the art style, it's interesting. Of course, the original concept of this in Marvel is the black white blood. I don't think there's any blood in this at all. It's like, it's wild that it's shockingly clean, even compared to the Maul story and
Yeah.
the Vader story. It's still dangerous and adventurous, but it's a different take. It's using the hues. You have the Basilisk, who has bounty hunter, or not bounty hunter, Basilisk, who has the intel. I mean, even Slave One, I had to remind myself, well, yeah, that is red and mostly gray with some green on it.
Yep.
Boba looked really interesting. I'm kind of surprised that they went with white as opposed to a darker gray where it should be green. That would have been a bit more of a natural thing, but maybe it's a way for him to stand out as maybe the main character of this. I don't know, but I do think it was very striking. It felt, even the style, it felt old school. It felt like Silver Age almost, and because they had just their limited color palette with the technology at the time. Here, I mean, this is an intentional paring back. This comic comes out in 2025, right? But intentionally paring back and saying, we're going to focus on the action. We're going to focus on the stoicism, and that not legitimate, demonstrating why they chose Boba Fett for this. And it's going to be a different kind of comic than the Vader and the Maul. With Vader, I mean, he's still stoic, but the chaos is all around him. With Maul, he is the chaos. And with Boba, he's kind of unlocking different kinds of order. And that's just the lines, the ships, the space. Yeah, it really comes out and Rochelle Rosenberg having and the artist having to make some very clear choices about what they're going to do and what they're going to plan. I didn't find it I wasn't confused too much, but yeah, I agree, it does take some getting used to. But yeah, it was, because it doesn't look like what we're used to in Star Wars, like Boba Fett. He's supposed to look green, he's not supposed to be white. But except for the first appearance of Boba Fett in that I guess in the holiday special or whatever it was. There we go. But yeah, I thought it was striking. I thought it was effective. It's just different, and so it's not probably what we were expecting. But yeah, I mean, if you have any more thoughts on the coloring, on the art style there.
Yeah, it's a solid job done. The red, very, very prominent, obviously. Just one more so than a lot of the other colors. But yeah, like you said, as far as tying into like the Slave One and all, it was cool, like realizing there is a lot of red on that ship. But yeah, overall, like the red visor of Boba Fett, it's usually like the reddish orange kind of visor. It looks really cool. You have these different pteranodon bird things in one of the first pages that are flying through, very Jurassic Park-esque, and and it makes sense. Like, we're on like a lava kind of planet at different points. Like, let's have that going on there. I've never seen a species before of whatever criminal underboss he was dealing with. It's like a straight up like from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Devo, like the little rhino guy. So that was
and his nickname is Tusk.
Yeah,
that's funny. Also, even just the poses that Boba has,
they're pretty legendary.
They're legendary, but they feel like, I'm trying to find a good example here. They feel like they're from the 70s, from the 80s, like just old school. I know there's the one where he's like crouching down, trying to find it. Here are my pages flipping. Here's a good example. This one right here, like that jump. That's straight out of the 80s.
Wow, you went to the comic shop today, huh?
Yeah, I did end up going. Actually, I ended up getting a physical copy for once in my life. No, it's not true. I do end up getting them later, but I ended
Me too. I haven't
going today.
Been back in a while. I gotta go.
Yeah. Yes, go to your LCS, folks. But yeah, it all in all, a solid, strong comic book. Looking forward to issue number 2. I believe Ethan Sachs is writing that one.
Oh, nice.
Is that right?
I
Maybe
hope
number
so.
2.
That'd
I don't
be
know.
Great.
We know he's writing. Sitting next to Ash and me, he said he's writing one of the future ones. So
yeah.
So that's gonna be good. Any last comments on Boba Fett Black, White, and Red? All right, we can mosey along to a few years down the line to Alex Segura's ongoing number 5, art and cover by Phil Noto, letters by VC's Clayton Coles. Show the cover here. This is, of course, more traditional.
Yeah,
there we go. Cool cover by Phil Noto, not the conventional Phil Noto kind of vignette that he does. So that's a good evolution there, or good nice change of pace, I should say. He can evolve. He can do it. He's fine, but it's a nice change of pace there. Anyways, ongoing number 5, The Past returns as Luke, Rynn, Han, and Valance race to find a group of stranded traitors. They uncover a startling and deadly relic from the past and have to face off against a horde of battle droids. Leia and Mon Mothma face an unexpected and powerful attack. Who is the new leader of the Nagai resistance? Cornered on a desolate planet, our heroes are left with one shocking option to survive. Chris, I'll throw this one to you. What do you think of ongoing number 5?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. First of all, artwork by Phil Noto. This guy really does a good Han Solo, really does a good Luke Skywalker. I'm not sure about how he artistically depicts Leia at some points in his comic, but for Han and Luke, they look so good every time. I'm perusing through this issue right now as we speak. And what I will say is I love the 3-pronged approach. I love the surprises in this issue. I think there was a lot of great moments in here that were like, oh, that's kind of neat. Looking forward to seeing what happens with that, especially with the Nagai uprising. That is interesting. It's going to be a good footnote in the Star Wars timeline here. If we ever get another one of the timeline books, like these guys on Caltrace, and it's this nice surprise of this character of Jezrid is back. That is a character that Luke really felt remorse for, leaving her behind and all when he was over there for the first time. And for Garlev, for the Nagai, and they're out there, just the freedom fighters going against the Xantar gang, these mismatched stormtroopers. But like at the same time, you also have like, oh crap, like there's the Fenrir Consortium somehow has their hands on a fleet. And it's like I gotta look back again. Are they attacking Hosnian Prime or wherever they were? Chandrila?
Yeah, they're in Chandrila, yeah.
So they're going to be attacking the New Republic capital? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. Sounds like it. Sounds like what Alicia
put together a fleet of warships and they're heading toward New Republic space. Okay, so it doesn't say specifically where. But the fact that this group is already given a New Republic, they're not the Empire, but whatever this new group organization is, it's already willing to challenge the New Republic, is like, oh wow, this is going to be interesting. And then just obviously, can't ignore the fact that we're having Luke, Han, and Valance and Rynn fighting off against legions of battle droids. Like that is just so cool in its own right. So each one of these 3 different storylines is really piquing my interest right now.
Yeah, I'll say if my focus is only on the battle droid thing, I guess maybe my prequelist Spidey sense is going battle droids. It's funny if this comic had come out before Rebel season 3. I think it would have been a really cool sort of, let's test this concept. Then we'll graduate it, if you will, to screen. Oddly enough, the planet that this contingent of battle droids Agamar was supposed to crash land on. Did the Wikipedia thing. That is where that Rebels episode was set. So they were going to join.
What?
Yeah. So they were going to Agamar. They were going to join this contingent was going to join that group on Agamar and would have had given Kanan, Ezra, and them even more
That's
trouble.
so cool.
So there's that little connection.
That's awesome.
I'll start by saying though the thing is it just felt that plot point felt a little derivative at this point. It's as we've seen this already. It was 9 years ago, so okay, maybe I can see why people found it exciting, but I'm like, yeah, I've seen this already. I've seen this in
the characters.
Rebels.
It's the characters, though. I mean, Luke Skywalker.
And I'm getting there.
Yeah, with it valiantly standing with a green lightsaber, just slashing apart every kind of droid possible. It's so cool.
So, yeah, so the premise itself was like, okay, it's trying to have an appeal that was kind of didn't quite grab me, but like you said, the banter between Han and Luke, the fact that Han just knows what to do and goes off to this other side, I think it's Han and Beilert, I forget who they kind of split up. Yeah, seeing Luke with the shades of what we see in the end of Mandalorian season 2, where again with his green lightsaber he tears through a bunch of droids, and this edge, this defiance that he has in this era, because at the end in Return of the Jedi, he's choking the Gamorrean guards. This defiance of when the kind of strategy droid says surrender, and he says not now, not ever. That fire that we haven't seen from Luke as much, and so that was a telling key moment that I think that aspect of it will come back. I would like to know, if this little separatist group does play a bigger role somewhere. Otherwise, they may have picked a more, I don't want to say more interesting group, but maybe a group that is more connected with what the rest of the story is doing. So that's my only sense there. But yeah, the more interesting things were with Leia and Mos Mothma, and then with Jessrit and the Nagai Resistance. It's just that they're a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's really amazing. Alex really setting up the political situation, showing us, getting us to feel, because how Mon Mothma feels and how Leia feels about these factions standing up to the New Republic and this project for peace that is already being threatened primarily by this acolyte of the Beyond, by Rynn Obscure. Yeah, that's her name. By Obscure, and she's the one controlling everything, makes it feel like such a more formidable threat. And I mean, my favorite moment was really, really dramatic. Leia talking about we must pursue peace, and that's when Alicia interrupts her and says, "No, this fleet's coming of battleships. Is peace going to be an option?" Shades of her father Bail wanting peace, but realizing with the Death Star, for example, it's going to be no peace. And so, that playing in just now and thinking about it, that's going to be Leia's response to the First Order a couple of decades later. That Mon Mothma is going to, or not necessarily Mon Mothma, but that's interesting. You mentioned Hosnian Prime, right? Everyone on Hosnian Prime is going to be all, let's not mobilize, let's not poke the bear. And Leia's gonna have this different response of, "Oh, we got to go fight." But she had that during the rebellion. Now to see her start to really believe in the New Republic project, this unifying, peaceable, we're all the Republic. I mean, get a Lena So reference in there somewhere. Be good. But see her believe that, but then immediately it's being tested by this faction, and then immediately Alicia comes in. So yeah, that aspect of it really intriguing. Also, the Nagai, how feels almost like the French Resistance, or like some way that going to take down this federal consortium, this alliance from the inside, and destabilize them to let the New Republic at least press the advantage, or they're going to come to represent the people in that sector more and want to be part of the Republic. We'll see. That's the thing. I do want to see more of that political story, because I mean, maybe that's because of what I've been interested in. I've wanted to see this New Republic story leading up to the Mandoverse and what's happening then. But we've gotten more Luke and Han, which is interesting. In this issue, of course, great to see them team up, but I do want to see more of what Leia and Mothma are up to. That's just my 2 cents there. I do like Phil Noto's colors, his style. He does the art and the covers and the colors and everything in this one, and so seeing him with this clone detachment, we of course we see the cover for issue number 6 here. We've seen that before, but yeah, they come upon this cache of phase 2 clones, and so this is, and that's something that in Rebels they didn't end up doing. They ended up, that story is a little different, right? Of course, they end up allying with the droids to fight the Empire. So yeah, and curious to see where that side of it goes. If it, what kind of character beats. I agree. He carries forward. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on number 5. Really still curious about what, how long this run is. You still haven't heard any. I don't know if you've heard anything. I haven't heard anything about.
I haven't heard anything. And I mean, I just don't know. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's ending at 10. At this point, seems like there's. Yeah, it just seems like there's no promotion for it. Like there's no hype from. There's like no hype from Marvel or StarWars.com or anything for it right now.
Yeah, like Alex, he's going to be at New York Comic Con, right? He's going to be in the panel?
But the problem is he's not even on the panel.
He's not in the panel. Okay. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like he's not even listed on the panel, but he's going to be there. So that's like his pretty sure he's going to be at Comic Alley.
Artist Alley, yeah.
Artist Alley. So,
get your microphone ready. Give him an ask. Or not ask him off the record and just message me, let you know how that works. Because it just, this issue again focusing so much on Luke, Han, Rynn and Beilert fighting flankers.
Breaking news.
Oh, you got breaking news. Okay.
Finish your thought. I mean, it's but this is really cool. I had to see this as
the ongoing.
That's why I was looking. It's related to an ongoing. Yes.
Okay.
But not in the way you think.
Okay. So before I'll finish my thought, it feels like I don't know where this run is going. That's the thing, and I want. That's why I want more of the Leia story, because that seems to be the main story. Frankly, is this as the main story is as the formation, the growth of the New Republic in its infancy. That seems to be the story, unless Luke, fighting, ends up, because he's warding off threats, and Han and Beilert are warding off threats. Luke and Rynn, but I want to see them. I want to see, like Mon Mothma says to Leia in Life Debt, we're building a government now. I want to see that story. So, that's again, if Luke ends up, say rebuilding his Jedi Order, that's a different story. That's an interesting story to see, but he hasn't quite done that yet. So. Yeah, I want to see. So I want to see forward movement, forward progress, in this time, and not just defensiveness. That's my thoughts. My 2 cents.
I don't know if they're ready to make big swings like that in the comics. Unfortunately,
I feel like need someone like Charles Soule to make those big swings.
yeah. Like I said, like Kevin Scott and Charles Soule seem like Lucasfilm has the most trust with those 2 guys to really push things forward.
Good times. All right, I'm gonna.
Okay, so breaking news. As of 5 hours ago, there's a service called Webtoons.
Oh yeah.
That's why if you see me looking down a lot on this video, I'm not just like texting people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get this booted up on the phone, because this is Webtoons.
Okay.
They have the original, and it's so smooth. Like you can just scroll through. They have the formatted text, You can zoom in if
neat.
you want, but it's like big enough text now.
Yeah.
So you could just go through the entire. This is free, by the way.
What
All I
what
did was
story is
download
that?
the app,
Is that A New Hope
and
or
this is
what is
like the
that?
first issue. I don't even know how many issues, but it's formatted specifically to
Yeah.
vertically scroll
Mm.
through all the comics. There's no
Wow.
ads from what I see or anything. And it's just so
Yeah.
cool taking a trip down memory lane. Like
Yeah.
all the panels are enlarged. So
Okay.
there's like you just look vertically. This is so sick. They actually reformatted
Nice.
the
So is
entire
that the
comic to just do like one scroll method
mhm.
all the way through.
Is that the
And
Jason Aaron?
yeah, and I'm
Okay.
using a Google Pixel phone. And
Yeah.
I love how there's maximum real estate on this phone.
Interesting.
There's no like
Yeah.
taskbar or any like widget buttons.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful display. The colors look, I mean, the screen, me showing it through my screen is not doing
Yeah.
it justice because
Mhm.
compression and everything. But oh man, I might just be sitting here after the podcast
There you
and just reading through this because this
Nice.
is actually like really enjoyable. And I can zoom in because I don't have the
Yeah.
best eyes, so like I might zoom in a little bit,
Right.
but like this is such a cool idea. I
Yeah.
never actually experienced webtoons before,
Mhm.
but now actually having experienced this, there's going to be a panel at New York Comic Con, I think on
Oh, okay.
Friday, where they're
Nice.
going to be talking about webtoons. Is going to be bringing in obviously Star Wars and like the other
Mhm.
big IP is going to be doing this now a lot too.
Okay.
I think before webtoons was always like more independent artists and stuff
Mhm.
and stories, and I always every Comic Con I've been to in New York,
Mhm.
the lanyards were always usually sponsored by webtoons,
Interesting.
and I had no idea what the heck those were. I was just like,
Okay.
okay, it's a
Mhm.
free lanyard
There we go.
promotion, whatever this thing is. I have no interest. Now I have interest because I'm looking at how beautiful they've
Mhm.
done this for anybody now.
Mhm.
To just open up Star Wars, the webtoons app, just look Star Wars up.
All right.
Takes like maybe 30 seconds or less to download the app on my internet,
Mhm.
and I'm scrolling through this whole comic. This
Interesting.
is crazy. It just goes on and on and on. I don't even know how long it's gonna go on, but
Yeah.
there you
I
go. There's
mean,
some nice
I
breaking news for
know Marvel Unlimited's done something like that too. Comixology had something like that. Not quite guided view. It's something else entirely. But yeah, it looks like it's a Korean company. Um, so, I mean, there's another option with the distribution. Given we're in the middle of the Great Diamond or at the end of the Great Diamond Meltdown of 2025, which followed the Great Diamond Meltdown of 2024. So yeah, another option to watch this infinite canvas rather than multiple pages. Yeah, that looks interesting. I'll check that
yeah.
out. I'm like, does it seem like Marvel just straight up licensed it to say do that, or is it this sort of third party something? I don't know how this is
I don't
looking,
know, but
but
I'm also reading it
yeah,
on my desktop computer right now.
yeah,
It's like super gigantic though.
yeah.
Which
Well,
is
yeah,
cool. Like I'm looking at these images of like, hey man, this is literally 10 years ago
yeah,
of reading through and going like, oh yeah, I remember that part when Luke, Han, and Leia smuggled themselves to Simoon or whatever the place is called,
oh yeah, yeah.
and just like, yeah, Simoon won, and they just go and infiltrate this Imperial factory.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to take a trip down memory lane, right? So
Yes,
a lot of the times I'm only reading these
mm-hmm.
comics once, so
Yeah,
maybe that's something I'll start doing is if they
true.
keep releasing these, I can be on lunch break at
Yeah,
work, eating lunch and just scrolling through another
mm-hmm.
couple. You don't even do pages on these. There's no,
Yeah.
from what I could tell, I can't even see what page I'm on. It
Mm-hmm.
just is, like it's an eternity of scrolling.
Sure. Well, it says infinite loop. It looks, yeah. I mean, they have to make it a different format, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I'll definitely check that out. I think again, I know Marvel did in Gods, which was an Alan Hickman book. They did something like this. They had the normal standard print version of it, and then they had this sort of scrolling thing. But that was in the Marvel Unlimited app. So this is
Ah,
its own thing. Yeah, I mean, if Marvel's licensing these things, yeah, check that out too. Why not? And I'm guessing like is issue number 1 from the Jason Aaron, is that just as kind of a sampler? Uh, That makes sense.
Let
there.
me look.
Yeah.
Give me a moment to see.
Yeah, how that works.
Like how this even works.
Right.
There's chat. Oh, they have Marvel stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, dude, they have
Mm-hmm.
9 issues.
Mm.
Okay, but
seems
then
like-
there's things that cost coins.
Okay. Seems like
So
a
let
proof
me
of
see.
concept thing. Yeah.
You can get up to chapter 4, which I'm guessing is issue 4.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens if I hit read, log in now, and enjoy free comics. It says free comics. I don't know what the. You don't have to log in to read the first 4 at least.
Yeah. It looks like I'm seeing some reviews on the Google Play Store. It looks like there are ads, and that's how they have to fund it. The ads kind of ruin the process. That seems to be the gist there. That could just be people complaining. I don't know. Anyway, it's a bit of a detour. That's all right. Interesting detour. Because yeah, I think, and that's kind of all we had for the reviews for this week. Gotta bum this up. We do have one more thing to kind of talk about, because next week is just one book after Chaos Agent number 4. I had originally, the way I got the schedule together, I thought Codebreaker number 4 was coming out as well. Turns out that is getting bumped to November 12th.
That's insane.
Which is wild. That Dark Horse. Dark Horse is bumping it all the way, to November. Maybe, I mean, that could have to do with something behind the scenes. Maybe. I mean, I know artists and authors. They have other things to do, other work to do. They're busy people. But maybe Ethan had the Boba Fett book to do. I don't know, but yeah, it is strange that it's bumped all the way to November.
But then Tides of Terror missed 2 whole months as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have more thoughts on that. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels weird. It's like I feel like all hands on deck for High Republic, and as soon as High Republic finished, that's when things got a little bit lax for some reason. Like they had put so many resources to hitting those target times, which were absolutely necessary for the entire initiative, that they're like, okay, we could take a breath now. We can relax a little bit. But to the point when things are getting delayed, like by 3 months for the last issue, like we're waiting this long for the final. You guys just can't
building
get that a little bit
suspense.
sooner?
Building suspense.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we're literally at the end, and there's like the Naboo starfighters, and the different barons are ready to attack Poe Dameron on that station that was above Bathuai. And now we gotta wait all the way till
November
literally
12th.
after Visions comes out. Like we're waiting longer for the freaking animated stuff, like the Lego special will be out, Visions will be out. We're almost at Thanksgiving time in the US, and we're still gonna be finally getting this thing. It's crazy.
The Lego thing will be out when after Chaos Agent comes out. So to be fair, that comes out Friday. Yeah, I wonder if they overextended themselves or something.
Yeah,
they just, there's, like we're talking about with Diamond, there's volatility in this industry, and who knows? I mean, we will, just a bit of a preview. I'm going to be bringing on an old buddy who owns a comic book store and has written a lot about the industry. Chat with him on this podcast about the industry and about what's going on. I think there's a lot of volatility, a lot of chaos, and part of it is just more limited resources and having to, I don't know about put out fires. I don't think Dark Horse necessarily has to put out fires, but yeah, maybe with High Republic they bit off more than they could chew. They chewed it. It was great. They did a great job with it. Just now we're expecting them to keep with the regular pace, I guess. I don't know. I'm just theorizing what the issues could be.
Oh yeah, then the other issue, the original graphic novel of Grievous, just keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah, Hyperspace Stories. I mean, that's So Yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe there is some issues behind the scenes with Dark Horse, but
And
yeah.
I'm disappointed they're not at Comic-Con this year. Darn it, for like the third year in a row.
They're not at Comic-Con at all. Wow, okay.
They used to have a good booth too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think New York has really been
Hmm.
quite expensive
Yeah.
for a lot of these different booths this year, but that's a
Mhm.
whole nother conversation.
Yeah. I mean, they were at San Diego because you can't miss San Diego.
No.
But yeah, well, that's surprising to miss New York. I mean, they're all there, right? They're all
I'm
in
not
New
sure
York.
where Dark Horse is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they from New York? I'm not sure.
I'd imagine.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say. Or they're Milwaukee.
Interesting.
No, they're Milwaukee, Oregon, not Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Milwaukee, Oregon. So they are on the other side of the country. To be fair, I didn't know there was a Milwaukee, Oregon. Now you know. TIL. Oh, it's spelled differently. It's Milwaukie. In Oregon. Anyway, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they need to relocate to New York. I don't know. I do. They do. I mean, that's the thing. They do. So Dark Horse, they're trying to do both extremes. They do try and do both extremes of the comic industry, right? They have these big IPs like Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't remember.
Yeah,
And they have
IDW.
they have big IPs, and they have creator owned comics.
Oh.
And so it's this funny hybrid model, whereas Image, for example, has always been creator owned and just developed that developed that reputation, that steam, that then become big properties. Like, I mean, The Walking Dead was their biggest hit. But it started as a comic book. It started as a creator owned comic book.
Invincible is really famous too.
Yeah, Invincibles.
Same guy wrote Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman.
I think Lock and Key is Dark Horse, right?
No idea.
Or that's Marvel. Lock and Key. So yeah, I mean, trying to see. Anyway, the point being, no, I don't know if that's part of the issue, is that they're, trying to do both at the same time, and that's tough. And that's why with Marvel, it's always, because I mean they're the machine, right? They're the Disney machine, they're the Marvel machine. And also Marvel owns the books. So yeah. I'm curious to see if there's something going on in was Lock and Key, a comic book series of the same name. No, that was IDW. Never mind. Anyway, we're kind of going all over the place here, but yeah, I am curious to see if something's going on at Dark Horse. If maybe they're not. They used to probably be a bigger player. They're not as big of a player now.
So what is their next comic release that we are actually getting in our hands? I think that's the best.
Yeah, I mean,
next?
what's scheduled?
What are we getting next? It's got to be Tides of Terror #2, right? What else do they have? The Bad Batch is done with.
Tides of Terror #2 is, from what I can see, scheduled for October 8th.
Oh, cool.
See if that's still true. Interestingly, ongoing #6 is scheduled for October 1st.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that. We only have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
That's sick.
So, let's see. Yeah, Tides of Terror is still October 8th. So
cool.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they do have a bunch of interesting books here. Looking at they've not Kill Bill, Kill All. That's okay. They have the Resident Alien.
Oh wow.
I mean, that's probably
maybe what their strategy is. I can understand this strategy. Maybe they're only going to put out one Star Wars book a month.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. It's either going to be Tides of Terror or it's going to be Pro-Dam, and they're going to alternate them. Because then eventually we're going to get that Bad Batch, the second miniseries.
True.
That'll be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that comes out in December then. I bet you that one does.
Did that? Because that was supposed to come out in November.
Oh, okay.
I think. Let me see. Let's see where they have
We're doing research on the fly here.
Yeah, we're doing research on the flight. So here's interesting. So kind of to your point, a little bit, but not. Codebreaker number 4 and Tides of Terror number 3 are both scheduled for November 12th now.
Oh my gosh, you guys
So I mean, I wonder if that has to do with printing and saying, okay, let's
that's
do both at the
crazy.
same
Like
time.
of all the times you're gonna have them out in the same week.
Yeah, they have Tales from the Nightlands.
Oh, that's the one.
yeah.
That's the one that I completely forgot. That came out last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have like
yeah.
3 ongoing books in
Yeah.
circulation.
So
Okay.
Bad Batch Rogue Agents was always going to be December 17th. So I mean, yeah, maybe that's just it, is that they're trying to spread them out or space them out. Moving it to November is curious. Moving the Codebreaker is curious, but it seems like everything else. I mean, they have Magic the Gathering. They have They have Avatar, the James Cameron franchise.
Wow.
Yeah, Tides of Terror is December 3rd. So there you go. And Bad Batch Rogue Agents is December 12th. December 17th rather. So yeah. The Umbrella Academy. I mean, I think Umbrella Academy originated in Dark Horse. So yeah, there seem to be getting a good output. It's not as much as Marvel, or DC, but yeah, there. So, but again, it's maybe it's just this one comic there was concern with, and hyperspace stories, obviously the big one. But I mean, they're also got they're doing the Art of Manga.
Oh yeah,
that you wanted to mention.
Kickstarter, yeah,
doing which is interesting. I mean, again, why do they need to do a Kickstarter? Maybe, I mean, why does Hasbro need to do HasLab? I guess similar question, but perhaps. Anyways, Afro Chaos Agent number 4. That should be interesting. I guess she's teaming up with Han still, or she moved on to someone else. I forget.
She's gonna be doing Chewbacca.
Right. Yeah.
And Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting 10 years on full circle moment there. So yeah, looking forward to that. I don't know if you have any last thoughts on the industry, on everything going on. So yeah, so slightly shorter episode, slightly kind of an eclectic episode. Let's just call it that. Call it an eclectic episode of the Tractor Beam Comics Reviews. Chris, thanks for joining in, having a good conversation. Where can they find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter talking about Super Mario because I just beat Sunshine. I'll be talking about that.
Nice.
Playing Super Mario Galaxy right now, which just blows my mind how good that game is. So more video game chatter, more chatter on skateboarding, things like that, and over on youtube.com. Our last episode of Outer Rim Transmission, my other Star Wars podcasts, we were talking all about collecting and how collecting is just becoming ridiculously expensive with some of these collector items. So we're breaking that down, had a good discussion there this week. As we had mentioned, we'll be breaking down and reviewing Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past in its entirety. All 4 episodes, we'll be breaking those down. So it's good to get back to a good old review episode again. And then we'll have another one the following month for Vision. So it's going to be a good several weeks coming up after quite a bit of a drought. But we've been covering the news in the meantime when we can. So that's what's happening over there, youtube.com/StarRaptor.
Yes, there's been a drought in animation. Still comics coming out every week. I want to put that up there. I got to put that up there. But yes, it's nice to have new on-screen Star Wars to watch. Looking forward to this Friday and then next month. You can follow me on my personals, MNEUG1138. That's Instagram. Beaches.foodie, also Instagram. MNEUG is also Threads, Blue Sky, and of course on Twitter, NEUG485, and the Tractor Beam, comics reviews of the Tractor Beam on Blue Sky as well. This past Monday, as mentioned, Joel and I talked about her, and commented through my interview with Tessa Gratton, and keep an eye out for that over on the Iron Cannon feed, Iron Cannon podcast, Spotify and Apple Podcast audio feed. And this coming Monday, we're chatting about who really won the Clone Wars. That's a good question. Really one. The answer is Sheev, but also, what institutions profited and benefited from the Clone Wars, from the Rise of the Empire, all those kinds of fun political questions that Joel and I like to get into. So yeah, check that out right here on the Underworld YouTube channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern this Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, and then we are right back at it right here on the Tractor Beam with just Afra Chaos Agent number 4. Go to your local comic book shop, check that out, see what digital options there are if that's more your speed. But either way, until then, happy reading.